The best way to approach a candidate is to give before asking. This means selling the role and the company culture before making any requests.
Welcome to the Hired Hub podcast, your ultimate guide to mastering the complexities of remote work and pushing your career forward.
Whether you're tuning in from the busy streets of Latin America or any corner of the globe, we're here to give you tools and insights to succeed in today's dynamic job market. I'm your host, Gabby Morales.
And I am your co-host, Jess Torres. If you're a recent graduate eager to leave your mark or a seasoned pro looking to redirect your career, you can join us as we explore the endless possibilities of remote work and career growth.
Get ready to unlock your full potential with the Hired Hub podcast. Hi, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of the Hired Hub. Today, we have a fantastic guest who's going to share some valuable insights with us. Maria Matos is an HR professional with a rich background and passion for people.
Maria, welcome. How are you today?
Hey, I'm doing amazing. Thank you so much for asking.
We're really happy to have you here. And we know that you've had quite a journey, starting from human resources assistant while still in college, to holding roles like recruiter, human resources generalist, and people analyst. And despite having a degree in accountancy, you've dedicated your career to human resources. So how did you transition, or how this transition happened?
Well, yeah, first of all, thank you so much for inviting me to this. Related to your question, my very first job was as an administrative assistant when I was still at college for a pharmacy in my country. After 6 months, the HR assistant quit, and I was assigned all her duties, and I was starting liking them a lot. A year later, I found a job as an HR assistant, and I said to myself, yes, I love this. And I have worked a lot with psychologists in my career, and their passion for people. It's been a lot of cashy for me as well. When you understand people, you understand businesses. It doesn't work the other way around. That's why I started to study psychology after finishing accounting.
Amazing. You're originally from Venezuela and now living in Chile. How has that international experience influenced your approach to HR, especially in remote work?
Oh, yeah. My international experience moving from Venezuela to Chile has influenced a lot my approach to HR, especially in remote work. Living in different cultural environments has given me a broader perspective on diversity and inclusion, helping me to understand and appreciate several work styles and communication methods. This has been particularly valuable in remote work, where building a cohesive team culture across, different regions and time zones is crucial. This background has made me more adaptable and empathetic, enabling me to connect with and support a diverse range of candidates and employees effectively.
Oh, that's great. And we also want to know a little bit about your process with HireRemotely. How long have you been working with the company? I mean, we need the full story. So if you can tell us a little bit of that, that would be amazing.
Of course. Well, I've been working in HireRemotely for 5 months now. It might seem like a short time, but it feels like I've been here for like a year already. The year here has been amazing. I can tell how much I have learned and all the networking I've been doing so far in so short time. It's been amazing. I'm beyond grateful for all the time I've been here.
Amazing. Yeah. So short periods of time here, they run by so fast. Definitely. Maria, today we want to change things a little bit regarding the interactive section. We want to include you. We're going to give you all the answers from the poll at the end. So before we do that, we're just going to go on into the conversation.
Sure.
Okay, so in this episode, we have two topics. The first one, it's about entering or your experience in Hire Remotely in special. And the second topic will be about development and implementing recruitment strategies. So once you were hired, Maria, what did your onboarding process look like in Hire Remotely?
The onboarding process was smooth and well supported. The team was very welcoming and guiding me through all the departments. And we had like a welcome call where the entire team introduced themselves, explained their roles and daily tasks, and explained their expectation for my new role. They also provided an overview of tools they use on a daily basis.
So you're talking about virtual orientation. Was there any kind of mentorship? Like did you get assigned anyone to just learn more about the company and the role that you were going to fulfill?
Yes, I had. And I also had like an onboarding page where all the frequently asked questions one might have when joining a new company. It featured around 8 short videos, each about 1 minute long, covering essential topics like payment frequency, company community question rules, and how to use daily tools my coworkers rely on. So these resources have made the whole transition much smoother in comparison to other companies.
So you're talking about the HR page. Like, what other resources did you find most helpful during your onboarding process, and how do they help you stay connected nowadays and productive in your role?
Well, the resources, I will say, the daily meetings they used to have with me.
The check-ins.
The HR manager used to check in with me on a daily basis. Used to know how was the role was going, if the task I was assigned to was enough for me, or if I was struggling with something. I really appreciate that, since when you're joining in a new company in a sector that you're probably not used to, it's pretty valuable, and you need to be grateful for that.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I don't know, how did you get used to all of the tools? Like, are you guys using ClickUp right now?
Yes, we use ClickUp, Discord. Yes, ClickUp, Discord, Zoom, on a daily basis. Yeah.
Yeah, those are really good tools to keep organized with a team that works remotely. And we know that many of our listeners are eager to work remotely for international companies. So Maria, what advice would you give to job seekers about standing out during the application process for remote positions?
What a great question to ask. Finding remote work can be much more challenging compared to securing an on-site position. For on-site roles, you're competing with regional talent. In contrast, for remote position, have a global pool of applicants, making the competition much stiffer. So, for example, when you're applying for an on-site position, your competition might be limited to your city or region. However, remote roles, you're up against candidates from all over the world. This means that the odds of landing a remote job can be as slim as 1 of 10. If you approach the application process the same way you would do for an on-site job. To stand out in an international job market is crucial to develop a strong personal brand. This goes beyond having a polished LinkedIn profile with a large following. It involves a deep understanding of your own strengths and weaknesses and knowing how to leverage them effectively. For instance, if you are a great if you are great at project management, but struggle with public speaking, focusing on showcasing your project management skills through detailed case studies and testimonials on your LinkedIn profile or personal website will be a great option. Highlight your achievements, such as successfully managing a complex project remotely to demonstrate your capability in a remote environment.
Yeah, something that we usually talk about is the struggle of communication. And communication is a struggle regardless of if you're an on-site job or if you're remote. But when you're remote, it's even harder. So I feel like something that candidates should highlight, and I do feel it helps them stand out, is having great communication skills and demonstrating them during the application process, which is like being assertive, being an active listener also. That's part of a very important part of communication. It's not all about talking, but really listening, and also being proactive and flexible, like showing your ability to take initiative and adapt to changes. And of course, if it's needed, exemplify, because people, especially in these project management or web development or even design works, you're sometimes applying to such different industries. Like sometimes you're going to be applying to a marketing agency. Sometimes you're going to be applying to a technology agency. And the type of work in essence may be the same, but the processes may vary. So you need to show yourself as flexible in that area, as still being able to adapt to those processes. So I feel like that, and then the communication skills, like I said before, is key for you to stand out in that part. Maria, you've had a diverse career within HR, from being an assistant to a people analyst. Can you share some of those effective recruitment strategies you've developed over the years? Like what made them successful?
Sure. The best way to approach a candidate is to give before asking. This means selling the role and the company culture before making any requests. Great talent receive several offers every day, and as recruiters, it's our job to stand out from the crowd. By giving before asking, I mean showcasing the company culture and the benefits first. If the candidate shows interest, it's a win. However, if they are hesitant, the best approach is to highlight why the position or the project is interesting by explaining the current challenges the company is facing and how their profile is uniquely suited to solve them. Additionally, another effective way to attract great talent is by having a strong presence in social media, such as LinkedIn. This helps in building credibility and making connection with potential candidates, even before a specific role is discussed. For example, you could share success stories, employee testimonials, and insights into the company's innovative projects. When a candidate sees a vibrant and engaging company culture, they are more likely to be interested in learning more about the company opportunities available.
I like what you were saying about a strong presence in social media, because that's kind of like my field. And while I was doing this episode, we're doing the episode, I saw that your profile on LinkedIn, it's really organized and it's really outstanding for me. I think that's really something that we want people that works not only remotely, but of course, on a normal job and on site. We all should have that. Like building a really good online presence, like not only on LinkedIn, but it's also social media, like even Instagram, Facebook. I know it could be apart from what you are from work, because it's your life, but you can also, like, that talks about you, like what you share, what you post on social media. It's part of yourself too. So that's really, really good. And also I wanted to highlight that another strategy that could be really successful It's like having targeted job descriptions, like crafting clear and specific job descriptions can attract those right candidates. And just being proactive and productive also, candidate is sourcing, like actively searching for talent through LinkedIn, all of the social medias that we were been talking about, industry events and referrals, which is really, really, really important. And I think this part, it's really important also having structured interview process, like implementing a consistent and fair interview process to assess skills and cultural fit. It's really important so that you can know better, like having like a data driven decision making, like you are organized on this, like you know what step one, step two, step three, and this person has these skills. So I think that's kind of like a really good strategy and part of like being proactive in this decision making. Could you share some innovate sourcing techniques that you've used to find qualified candidate for remote positions, especially? And how does these techniques differ from traditional methods?
I have many creative recruiting stories. But my favorite one is from when the pandemic started. I was working from an staffing agency and we weren't getting the numbers of candidates we expected, even with job promotion. So I turned to Tinder. Yes, Tinder. At that time, Tinder had a passport option that allowed you to match with people worldwide and it was free. I took the LinkedIn job post image and posted on LinkedIn targeting a specific countries in Latam. I didn't even tell my boss about that unconventional method initially, as it sounds crazy. But when it worked, I present qualified candidates. I revealed my method to my boss, and she was initially speechless, of course. Who wouldn't? But then burst into laughter, and soon the rest of the team joined her. By What I mean by this story is that no idea is too crazy or too old if you are smart enough to implement it. We have plenty of tools are at our disposal to find candidates. The key is knowing how to adapt those tools to our needs and being creative in our approach. Traditional methods involve waiting for candidates to apply and reviewing their resumes, but the best candidates are often passive ones. These are individuals who aren't actively looking for a job, but following companies online that they admire and not waiting for the right opportunity. Many companies believe that attracting passive candidates only happens with big brands, but that's pretty far from the truth. Companies with a strong online presence, as I've been saying before, a willingness to showcase their culture, their love for their employees, and most importantly, their benefits can attract top talent. These candidates tend to stay way too longer and build better relationship within the company.
I love that example that you gave about Tinder because, again, like you say, it's very unconventional. But if you see the logic of it, it's still looking where people are, okay, and where the right people are. Because again, you have young people that are interested in their personal life and other things, but still in their professional area, they may also be looking. And a lot of people nowadays, surprisingly, they don't look at LinkedIn or they don't look at the most popular job search sites for jobs because there's still not like that habit of doing so. So I think it's a great idea. But I do like to highlight, the traditional spaces because again, a lot of people still go there, like the job fairs and even the webinars. Like a really popular thing nowadays is just the webinars. These companies that also want to like talk about more about their culture, about, their benefits and how they want to include, how they want to create a a community inside within their employees and their staff. I feel like that's a great idea to really just attract people. But overall, I hadn't thought before about that insight that you just gave us about looking in different places like Tinder. Yeah, amazing. Maria, thank you so much for these amazing insights. Unfortunately, we're coming to an end. And we recently asked our listeners on LinkedIn, what's the biggest HR challenge your company faces? We gave our audience 3 options, and they answered as followed. This question is mostly based or aimed towards business owners. So 32% think that talent acquisition, and 56% voted for employee retention, and then 12% chose compliance issues. Now, even though it's aimed towards business owners, I'm sure that a lot of people, even if you're not in those top management positions, they can see the struggles of a company. So I'm sure that a lot of people that have been part of other companies have also voted inside this poll. Maria, what are your thoughts on these results? Again, 32% think talent acquisition is the biggest risk. 56% voted employee retention, and 12% chose compliance issues as the biggest challenge that companies face.
I am totally agree, actually, that those are the biggest issues we are facing right now in HireRemotely, and we are fighting against those. Since we are a staffing agency, we are implementing new strategies to not only improve the employee retention, but also to improve better or to implement a better strategy to attract better talent. So yeah, I totally agree with those numbers. That's the reality.
Yeah, and it's just fascinating to see that the majority of companies, it's like 56% identify employee retention as the biggest human resources challenge. So this highlights the critical importance of not attracting talent, but also maintaining it, like a positive work environment to keep employees engaged and satisfied. Just talent acquisition at 32% remains like a significant focus, indicating that ongoing demand for skilled professionals. And I also think that compliance issues, well, it's less concerned, and we could say it's still 12%, it still plays a crucial role in ensuring that human resources practices align with legal standards. And I don't know, I love this poll results. No, it's just amazing to see how people are interacting in LinkedIn. So thank you guys so much for also voting and being there.
Amazing. Guys, we hope you've enjoyed our conversation with Maria Matos and gained some valuable insights.
Maria, thank you so much for sharing your journey, experiences, and expert advice with us. Your story, it's truly inspiring, and I'm sure our listeners will take away a lot from your insights.
Thank you guys for inviting me.
Thanks to our listeners for tuning in. Remember, this is Gabby.
And this is Jess. See you next time.
That wraps another episode of the Hired Hub podcast. We hope you found today's discussion empowering and insightful. Remember, success in the world of remote work is within your reach, and we're here to support you every step of the way.
Be sure to subscribe to our podcast for more expert advice and engaging conversations. Please give us a review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify to help us reach more people who can benefit from the Hired Hub podcast.